All right, good morning. So today for math, we are reviewing topic 4. So we're done with the chapter. We're going to review it, and then you guys are going to have a test on it. So this review here is just like what your test is going to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one type or one of each type of problem with you. To remind you of how to do each one, and then you'll finish up the rest of the review and take a picture and turn it into your Google Classroom. So when you're multiplying, the first type of problems that we went over were multiplying numbers with zeros at the end, okay? Multiples of 10, all right? So when both of your numbers have a 0 at the end, you can use the little shortcut and multiply the digits in the front. Okay, so 5 times 4 equals 20. And then you just add on the other zeros in the problem. So you wind up getting 2,000. Okay, and you're going to do the same with these. So 7 times 6, and then add on the zeros. 4 times 3, add on the zeros, and 3 times 3, add on the zeros. Okay, so that's that. Then the next thing that we went over in chapter 4 was an area model with a multiple of 10. Okay, so an area model is where you draw the picture with the two boxes and you kind of use it like a multiplication table. The multiple of 10, the number with the 0 at the end, goes on the outside here. And then your number with 2 digits, okay, that does not have a 0 at the end, you split apart into its tens and its ones. So 10 and 6, it's still 16. You've just broken it apart into tens and ones. And each one of those numbers goes up top. So 10 and 6, okay? Then you multiply like how you would with a multiplication chart. You go over and down, so 20 times 10 is 200, so that's 2 times 1, and then add the 2 zeros on, same as the problems you did up here. And then 20 times 6, so that's 2 times 6, that's 12, and add on the 0. Okay, and once you have your two numbers in the boxes, those are your two partial products, okay, the two part answers. You add them together. So off to the side, 200 plus 120 is 320, and here's a spot for your answer, 320. And if you put a box around it, then it's easy for the teacher who's grading it to see what your answer is in midst of your scratch work, okay? Same thing for this problem. Your 30 goes on the outside. You split the 17 into its tens and ones. The tens and ones go up top, so you have 30 times 10, 30 times 7, and then you'll add your partial products to get the answer. And same thing for numbers 7 and 8. Numbers 9 and 10 are estimation, rounding, okay? So when we did this lesson, it was rounding or using a compatible number, okay? So I could do both. I could round 26. If I look at the 6, that is greater than 5, so it's going to round up to 30. And then I could say 22 is close to 25, and 25 is a compatible number. That's like adding up quarters, okay? And there's 4 quarters and $1, so I could just write 25 here instead, or I could round down to 20, okay? Either way is fine. I'll show you both. So this would be using a compatible number, and that would give me 3 25s, which is 75, and then add on the 0. So 750, if I used, right here, I used a compatible number. Everybody spelled that right? Compatible number. And right here, I rounded. Okay, now if I rounded both, I would have wound up with 30 times, and then 22 would round down to 20 because the 2 here is less than 5. So it rounds down to the lower 10, so 20. And that would be 3 times 2 is 6, and the 2 zeros, 600. So either one of these answers, 750, 600, either one is acceptable. You need to make sure that you show your work so that the teacher grading it can see what you did, all right, to get your rounded answer. So you're going to do the same thing, either rounding or using compatible numbers for numbers 10. And 11 and 12, okay? These are, you're still rounding here or using a compatible number. Now, the next thing we covered in topic 4 was more of the area models, but this time it's with 2 two-digit numbers instead of one of them being a multiple of 10. So in this case, both of the numbers get broken apart into their 10s and 1s. So 17 would be a 10 and a 7, and 35 would be a 30 and a 5. And you can see when you draw your box, you have 4 squares for those 4 numbers. So instead of having 2 boxes for this type of problem, you would have 4 boxes. So I'm going to choose one of these numbers to put across the top and one to go down the side, and it doesn't matter which one goes on the top or the side at all. When you multiply numbers together, it doesn't matter what order. So I'm just going to put the 10 and the 7 down the side just because, and the 30 and the 5 across the top, okay? And then I'm going to use it like I would a multiplication table, and I'm going to multiply over and down. So 10 times 30, that's 1 times 3 is 3 and 2 zeros, okay? Then to the next box, 10 times 5, 50, okay? That's 1 times 5 and 1 0. And then 30 times 7, that's 7 times 3 is 21 and 1 0, so 210. And 7 times 5 for the last box is 35, okay? And then over here off to the side, I'm going to just add them up. So 300, 210. Does not matter what order you add them. It's all going to add up to the same thing. 50, 35. So I get 5, 9, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to put my answer here, 595. Put a box around it so that the teacher can see your answer clearly. Okay, so then 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 are all the same, okay? So like, for example, number 14, 13 would break apart into its 10s and 1s, that's 10 and 3. 27 would break apart into its 10s and 1s, that's 27. 1 goes across the side, 1 goes across the top, 10, 3, 27. And then you would multiply for each box and then add up, that's a plus here, add your partial products. Okay, so then the last type of problem, let me make sure we can see this good, down here. This is finding your partial products without using the array, okay? So you're still going to break apart your numbers into the 10s and the 1s. So 53 would be 50 plus 3. 14 would be 10 plus 4, okay? So now, for each one of these partial products, you're going to have a different multiplication problem. And it's the same numbers you would be multiplying in your area model. It's just not drawn out in a picture. So your 4 would multiply by your 3. So you would have 4 times 3. And then your 4 would also multiply by the 50. So you would have 4 times 50. Okay? Then I'm done with the 4. Then you would have your 10, and your 10 would multiply by your 3, so 10 times 3, and 10 times 50. Okay, and you'll get your answers here. So 4 times 3 is 12, 4 times 50, that's 4 times 5 is 20, and a 0 here. 10 times 3 is 30. And 10 times 50 is 1 times 5 is 5. And you have 2 zeros in that problem. And then you add everything up. 2, 4, 7. So your answer is 742. And you put a box around it. Okay, so you'll do this one the same way. 42 breaks apart into 40 plus 2. And 18 is 10 plus 8. And just follow the steps that we did here. You'll get your partial products and add them up. Okay? Let me help you out with this a little bit more. So it's 8. If you want to pause the video, do it yourself, go ahead. Okay? I'm going to set you up a little bit more with this one. So it's going to be 8 times 2 for this here. 8, and then 8 times 40. Okay, then I've multiplied 8 by both numbers, so I'm done with that. Okay, then I go to the 10. 10 times 2, and 10 times 40. And those are my 4 multiplication problems that give me my partial products. And then I add them up for the total finished product. Okay, so that is your topic 4 review. Your test on, let me find it here. Your test on topic 4 looks pretty much just the same, different problems, but you have your 4 multiples of 10 that you're going to multiply together, the area models where you have a multiple of 10 times a 2-digit number, estimating and rounding here, then 6 area model problems with a 2-digit by 2-digit number, and your 2 problems where you find your partial products. Okay, you know, on the partial products ones, if you want to use an area model to help you, you can. You could draw a little area model and do 20 and 5 and 10 and 9, okay, here, and then fill in the partial products here. If that helps, you can do that. Okay, so that's topic 4, and then we'll be starting topic 5 next week. And I will see you guys later. Bye.